A split screen, abandoned rust-eaten car versus gleaming restored legend, from forgotten to legendary.
The muscle car accelerates hard, exhaust roaring, pure American muscle.
A gloved hand applies assembly lube to a camshaft, protection from the first turn.
An extreme close-up reveals rusted chrome, moss, and water droplets. A battle against time. A mechanic meticulously installs a new water pump onto the engine, keeping it cool. A gloved hand struggles with the rusted hood latch, a difficult task ahead. The open hood reveals a seized engine bay, a chaotic mess of rust and debris.
A mechanic meticulously cleans bolt hole threads, every thread reborn.
A heavy-duty tow truck backs up, winch ready, contrasting power with decay. The muscle car slowly backs out of the garage.
The winch cable attaches to the muscle car's frame, a delicate yet forceful operation.
The winch cable tightens, pulling the muscle car from its muddy grave.
The mud-caked muscle car loads onto the flatbed, almost ready for its journey.
The muscle car departs the clearing, leaving its past behind, heading to the workshop.
The mud-caked muscle car rolls into a pristine workshop, a relic in a sterile environment.
A dramatic power wash blasts away decades of grime, revealing glimpses of metal beneath.
Removed brake components, heavily corroded, lie on a workbench, beyond repair for most.
A mechanic uses brute force to separate a seized control arm, metal groaning. A pile of rusty suspension components reveals extensive damage, everything needing replacing.
Stripped engine bay, a hollow cavern of rust. Finally, a clean slate.
The engine and transmission assembly pulls from the undercarriage, revealing extensive corrosion.
A severely rusted body panel bolt breaks free with a violent crack. Finally.
A mechanic methodically unbolts a fender, revealing hidden rust beneath, a precise challenge.
All body panels are stripped and stacked, revealing the car's bare, skeletal frame.
The exposed floor pan reveals multiple rust holes, more rust than metal.
A mechanic carefully extracts the steering wheel from its rusty column, handling with care.
The car is stripped of glass, revealing extensive rust, the true damage.
A montage reveals insidious corrosion, rust pitting, hairline cracks, and water seepage.
A faded original build sheet is discovered inside a door panel. A true time capsule.
Inside the sandblasting cabinet, glass beads furiously strip rust, transforming metal.
Large tanks of bubbling chemical solutions hold rusty parts. The chemical bath awaits.
Inside an ultrasonic cleaner, tiny parts vibrate, grime dissolving in cloudy plumes.
A gloved hand meticulously wipes a newly cleaned engine component, clean as new.
Freshly cleaned components hang in heated drying racks, ready for the next stage.
A split screen shows the engine block, rusted decay versus gleaming rebirth, before and after.
A mechanic lowers the massive engine block into a hot tank, steam rising dramatically.
Inside a cylinder honing machine, the tool creates a precise crosshatch pattern.
A milling machine precisely shaves a cylinder head, creating a perfectly flat surface.
A mechanic meticulously cuts a custom gasket. Some parts you just can't buy. A gloved hand meticulously masks an engine part for paint. Preparation is everything.
The entire chassis frame loads into a large sandblasting chamber, stripped bare.
An angle grinder cuts away rusted frame, bright orange sparks flying, cutting out the cancer.
A spray gun applies multiple layers of finish coat, building layers of perfection. A body panel is meticulously shaped on an English wheel, shaping metal by hand.
A gloved hand meticulously applies brushable seam sealer, sealing it against the elements.
Old chrome bumpers strip in a chemical tank, bubbling and peeling away the old. New carpet is meticulously cut and fitted, a fresh foundation for the car's interior.
A mechanic meticulously welds a broken seat frame, bright sparks flying, solid as new.
A mechanic overhauls a differential, inspecting gears and pressing new bearings. New life for the differential.
New calipers, rotors, and pads are meticulously installed. Braking power restored.
A mechanic installs new suspension components, bushings, ball joints, and shocks. A smooth ride guaranteed.
A mechanic meticulously runs new fuel lines along the chassis, fueling the beast safely. A mechanic carefully inserts a piston into a cylinder, piston by piston, perfection.
A mechanic carefully lowers the crankshaft into the engine block, the backbone of power.
A new head gasket is carefully aligned, a perfect seal for maximum compression.
A mechanic meticulously torques cylinder head bolts, exact specifications, every time.
A mechanic installs the timing chain. Aligning marks perfectly. Timing is everything. A mechanic meticulously bolts down the intake manifold, breathing new life into her.
Gleaming new exhaust headers are fitted to the engine, unleashing her voice.
A mechanic installs gleaming new engine accessories, all the essentials, perfect.
A mechanic connects the new wiring harness to the engine, bringing power to the system. A mechanic meticulously plumbs the new fuel system, a clean path for fuel.
A mechanic connects new cooling system hoses, ensuring a leak-free system, keeping her cool.
The fully assembled engine and transmission are positioned above the restored chassis. Heart meets body. The engine and transmission are lowered into the chassis. A perfect fit, finally. mechanic makes final electrical connections. Battery, ground, sensors, all systems connected. A mechanic fills the engine with fresh golden oil, the lifeblood flowing. A mechanic mounts a gleaming, restored wheel, rolling in style, finally. A mechanic meticulously torques each lug nut, every nut, perfectly secured. A mechanic carefully installs the new windshield, sealing it with fresh rubber. A mechanic meticulously bolts in newly upholstered seats, comfort and style restored.
A mechanic performs a final detail check, every bolt and surface flawless.
A gloved hand performs a final wipe down of the gleaming paintwork, the final touch. The fully restored muscle car, a legend reborn, gleams in golden hour light.
A crane elevates, revealing the restored muscle car's powerful rear stance, every angle, perfection. Rapid close-ups reveal flawless details, chrome badge, perfect paint, hair-thin panel gaps. The driver's door opens, revealing a pristine, luxurious interior, inviting a new world.
The starter motor whirs, engine coughs, but doesn't fire. A moment of uncertainty.
The engine's valve covers vibrate subtly, a perfect hum, the rhythm of raw power.
Gleaming exhaust pipes rumble deeply, a powerful muscle car sound, music to our ears.
A mechanic steps back, admiring their work, a job well done.
The muscle car slowly backs out of the garage. Into muscle car accelerates hard, exhaust roaring, pure American muscle.
A split screen, abandoned rust-eaten car versus gleaming restored legend, from forgotten to legendary.
A mechanic meticulously cleans bolt hole threads, every thread reborn.
A gloved hand applies assembly lube to a camshaft, protection from the first turn.
A mechanic meticulously installs a new water pump onto the engine, keeping it cool.
A mechanic meticulously installs the restored dashboard, the cockpit reborn. A mechanic performs the final undercarriage inspection, every last bolt, every last detail.